let's talk a little bit about the North Florida Suns and everything that you do over the summer. Like I know you're the director, but just give a plug out to your organization and everything that y'all do and what y'all have going on right now.
Mhm. So with North Florida Suns, man, we kind of it came about. You know, we wanted to keep our high school kids playing in the off season. We knew that's the only way we were going to compete for a state championship. We had to keep them playing, and so we kind of started out with two teams. You know, like a varsity and a JV, and then we started growing. And I think after the first year, we ended up going to the Final Four, my high school team. And so, you know, once that happens, you know, we got a lot of questions about, hey, would you be interested in doing eighth grade, seventh grade? And again, you know, you become a Final Four coach. Again, not toot my own horn, but now people start to gravitate and want to be a part of what you're doing and what you're selling. You know, they start buying. And so that's kind of how we formed, and we've had about 7 to 8 teams every spring, you know, and I think one year we probably topped out at 11 teams, you know, and so we ended up scaling back to about 7 to 8, you know, because I always want quality, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about the money, it ain't about the quantity, you know. We want to be able to put a quality product out there, good coaches, good development, you know. That's important to me, and it's important to everybody that we bring in to work with us, you know. That your kid is developing. So we've been fortunate to have kids that come through the program and get college scholarships. You know, John Franco Falls, he, you know, played JUCO, went to Southern Miss. Now he's at Nova Southeastern, #1 Division II team in the country. We got Elias Martin, who was at Florida Tech, you know, #1 defense in Division II. You know what I mean? Khalid Pogue, you know, he's at Edward Waters College. You know, so Amon Greenwich, Wingate University. You know, so we've had a number of kids come through, and the parents who trust in the product, believe in the product, and they see it through. You see the results. You know what I mean? And so that's important, man, and that's where we're going. We've started to expand now. We got summer camps that happens, you know, in the month of June and July. We got individual skill training. You know, you guys know about the summer grind, you know,
Oh yeah.
training in the afternoon. So, you know, it's a lot of different programs that we offer the kids because we're big on development, you know. So, you know, we're just not out here trying to be a money grab because there's a lot of AAU teams popping up, man. A lot of different programs. And so we started this thing, you know, about quality. And so we always want the product to be quality, you know.
And I know you just mentioned summer grind towards the end. I've already been a part of summer grind for the last 2, 3 years. So explain to the parents out there, or either players that may be watching, what summer grind and what is everything like entails when they get there.
So NFS Summer Grind really is a program designed for serious basketball players who want to get better, who want to expand their game from here to here. And you know, it's all about consistency, man. You can't just show up one week and think that's going to help. You know, we do summer grind for probably 5, 6 weeks throughout the summer. So it's a 3 day per week training where you're going to get some intense individual skill training. You're going to do some um, kind of weight, body exercises, workouts towards the end of the workout. But everything we can do to help you become a better basketball player, that's what we're going to do. You know, we have coaches who are going to teach what they're looking for at the college level. You know, playing off of 2 feet, knowing how to use both hands, right and left. So the basic skill that you need and the advanced footwork that you need for a college coach to notice your kid, that's what we're trying to teach at Summer Grab, And so again, it's not a money grab, Is every kid that we train gonna make it to the next level? No, but the kids who work hard and their parents are investing in them and pouring in them, they're gonna have a legit chance. And so and that's what that program provides, you know what I mean? A chance, you know what I'm saying, if you buy into it.
Hmm.
So
I know you spoke on AAU, and I know you do a lot of traveling over the summer. So for a player that's right now that's not attached to an AAU program, but he wants to be, and he just sees somebody on Instagram or either Twitter,
mhm.
and I mean they may not even have no big pedigree. What is your advice for a parent that may say, "Hey, I want to get you an AAU, but I need to be sure before I go invest all this money, just to be on the right
Hmm.
path." What type of league should they be trying to play in, like far as skill level?
Hmm. Great question. All right, I'm going to kind of tap on that. The first thing to look for is professionalism. You want a program that's going to come with professionalism and organization. Man, if you don't have a consistent place to practice, whether it be in a gym or outside, That's one thing. You want some consistency. Two, communication. I mean, we try to send emails every Sunday for the week. What's going on? What's happening? Practice times. Is it a tournament weekend? Um, all of the above. You know what I'm saying? So you want a program that's organized, that's professional. And then once you get past that point, man, look at the practices, man. Look how the practices are structured. Do they have a plan, a practice plan? Are kids just kind of messing around and shooting and you're working on something for half an hour and, ain't nobody really getting better. I think parents got to pay attention to that stuff. So if you come into 1 hour practices, we're going to practice for an hour and a half, and the first, 45 minutes going to be all skill work. Okay. We're going to get in, we're going to dig in, coaches are into it. We're going to get loose. We're hammering in skill work. And on that back end, now we're going to do competitive drills, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, things to let them understand how hard they got to compete in order to even sniff the next level. And you played there. So if coaches can't control how hard you play and they can't beg you to play hard. So, those are the things that we design our practices around, when we're doing our travel ball practices. So those are things to look for, first and foremost. I think sometimes they got a tendency to look at what kids are playing here, playing there. Look at what's the best fit for your kid. I know we have kind of an elite team that does more extensive traveling for exposure. A lot of kids think that they want to play for a shoe team. EYBL, Adidas Gauntlet,
Nike.
this and that. But guess what? Everybody can't play for those teams. They're gonna take the best 10 guys, and then that's it. So where do you fall? And so we've done a good job the last 4 years of taking kids who are, man, they're right there on the cusp of being a shoe level player, but you may have to play here, and we still go provide that exposure. Traveling in the southeast, we've been as far as to Dallas, we've been to Hampton, Virginia. We're playing in all the exposure events. So we have done a pretty good job of providing that exposure and still being a competitive team. I mean, we've played against shoe teams, and we're right there, 1 point game, 2 point game. So everybody don't have to be that. And we're working on some things where we can get, fully sponsored for a team to get out there and travel across the country and play. But it's a lot of good things that we're doing, man. We've been able through that elite team to put guys in school. I want to say the previous spring, almost 80% of that entire team signed to play college basketball, whether it was JUCO, Division II. So it's been really good. And the things that we're teaching, the things that we're stressing to these guys is working because college coaches are saying, hey, listen, man, they're coming in ready, prepared. They know what to expect. And so we've been giving them things that, that's going to help them for that next level. Even with that United program, Marcel Thomas has been a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Helping out with teaching those things. Byron Shimwell's had a little foot in there. So, but we've really kind of built that elite brand of it, and just keep trying to build and keep trying to help kids, man. That's what it's all about.
So does AAU transfer better far as for exposure, or does the high school season? Because I know a lot of guys, they're like, hey man, he averaged 20 points this year, he didn't get
Hmm.
no looks.
Hmm.
So what does that look like for a high school player that say plays at Bradford and maybe he averaged 17 points a game, but not saying that they don't play against the best competition, but they may not be in a big area for exposure, and he's
Right.
averaging 17 a game. So does he need to make sure he's doing something extra, as far as over the summer?
It used to be an old adage where they say, man, if you can play, they'll find you. But man, in today's age, man, you got to get out there and play, man. You've got to get out there on the AAU circuit. I just think that's just the way the landscape is going. In a high school game, you'll be lucky if you get a college coach to come there. I mean, if you do, he already knows about the kid. He has seen the kid, heard about the kid. But when you can go to a travel ball tournament and you got, you know, 200, 300 coaches sitting there courtside, walking around, watching, people live, then, I mean, how can you not give yourself an opportunity by not being there? You know what I mean? And are all kids ready for that platform? No. But if you're a serious player and you got a chance, I think you got to put yourself out there. And a lot of times, a lot of smaller schools, their kids need to get on that circuit and play around better players because it's easy for a college coach to say, well, ah, he averaged 18, 19 with this team, but man, ain't nobody, they won 5 games, 10 games,
Mm-hmm.
so he want to see him in that circuit with other future college players and see how he holds his own. Because at the end of the day, if you go out there and you get down, you make it happen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they gonna say, okay, he can play. He can
Yeah.
play. And so at the end of the day, players got to make plays. But I think you got to get on that platform, man. You got to, advertise yourself, man. You got to bet on yourself. You got to get out there and make it happen. So, but you want to be seen. So, I agree. I think that, you got to play AAU in these days. Just playing high school ain't gonna cut it. Sometimes you get guys that, man, we just gonna train. But, if you train, you got to have a platform to apply the training. That's in,
Mm-hmm.
real live reps, real live games. And so, but, it's got to be done, man. That's my take on that.